Hello everybody, welcome back to Fussy Cut Crafts. My name is Adrienne. This is my second video. So I figured it would be a good idea to go through some of my stacks of paper that I have ripped out of numerous magazines in an effort to try to get rid of them finally and go through my hoard basically of collected magazines, and finally cut some actual images out as opposed to like this, just this stack of random pages and words and squares and things. There are some things in here I want to keep as backgrounds, and some things that, you know, like I said, I've got some words cut out here. But there are also whole pages in here that I ripped out just to get the magazine out of the way so I could fussy cut specific images out. So I thought it would be a good idea to actually go through some of those. So I picked a few out here, especially because I know a lot of people seem to have trouble fussy cutting, and I'm not calling this little experiment Fussy Cut Crafts for nothing. I do really like to fussy cut, and I'm going to be using my favorite Westcott titanium non-stick. I think this is a 5-inch blade scissors. I found these on Amazon on sale probably 2-ish years ago, like a year and a half or so ago. And I've enjoyed them so much that I got these titanium Westcott titanium non-stick scissors. I got these Westcott titanium scissors, which are not non-stick, just the regular titanium. And recently I bought these Westcott carbo titanium non-stick scissors. And I'm actually planning to use, I haven't used these yet. I'm planning to use these for when I do sewing stuff, to cut fabric and stuff, because they're nice and sharp because they're brand new. But I have a little bit of a sticker, not sticker, a scissor, a little bit of a scissor thing going on here. But these are my favorite scissors to use for fussy cutting. And of course you can use any scissors you want. I'm going to start with this watch. All I really want is the watch face. I don't want the whole thing because I'm going to do this experiment where I cut round or round-ish shapes out to replace eyes on people's faces. I know that sounds weird, and it will probably look kind of weird, but that's something I have in my head that I want to do. So I'm going to give it a try, and I've been cutting out a lot of just, like I said, round or roundish things, or things that I feel like could work to replace people's eyes. And I really do, I feel kind of like I should have known that this was going to be a thing that I enjoyed doing, because I've always really liked paper, and one of the things I have enjoyed, like I've always been like just a magazine fiend, and for a long time what I would do is rip pages out of magazines, either because it was a photo I liked, or there was artwork I liked, or sometimes there were, you know, product recommendations or something. I would rip just whole pages out of magazines and keep them in file folders, which I did for a long time. And I actually wish I had kept doing that, or kept more of them, because it was a while ago that I actually started going through them and getting rid of them just to make room on my shelves. And of course, now that I'm doing all this collage and mixed media and junk journaling and stuff, I wish I had kept that stuff, because I had clippings from magazines that are not around anymore, like Lucky and Glamour and God, I think I may have had some pages from this magazine that I really love and still really miss, called Budget Living, which was just a general magazine about how to save money but still have fun and have, stylish things in your life or whatever. That magazine was not around for very long at all, but I loved it. I loved it so much. So I really wish I had kept more of that stuff. Now, if you haven't noticed, one of the things that's important when you're fussy cutting is moving the paper more than you move your scissors. That is the thing that kind of keeps you on track. It makes it easier to just kind of follow along and get stuff cut out. So there, I've got, it's backwards, but this is a 50 and this is, the watch face. Now I'm going to move along to something a little bit more difficult. It's a picture of Michelle Yeoh in a gorgeous dress, because of course it is. When is she ever not dressed gorgeously? Just going to cut off the bottom because I don't technically need that. See, this is part of my problem. I cut out stuff like this. I go ahead and I fussy cut, but then I'll look at what's left behind and I end up also liking this shape, like the negative space that's left behind. I'm going to leave her fingers for right now because it's easier to just cut around that and leave that, and then I'll get to that later. So it makes it really hard for me to just get rid of even scraps, because one of the things I like to do when I collage is just take these random shapes and patterns and things that are left behind and just smush them all together and see what I can come up with. Now, a lot of people would probably, I don't know if you can, it's kind of a glare there, but let me see. There's like a space right here where her hair is kind of parted. And one of the good things about fussy cutting is that you can choose to leave that or cut it out. You can easily cut her hair inward more so that you don't have that, or you could leave it, which is what I just did, because it's not that big of a deal to me. Plus I like the blue of the background, which is just water. Actually leaving a little bit of it. Delicately trying to cut around her face, her nose, her eyes, her eyelashes, her chin. This is a really cool profile. I'm leaving just a teensy bit of the background. I like to do, sometimes I like to cut things right up to the image, and sometimes depending on what color the background of the image is, I like to leave a little bit of it. And especially when you have something like this where the background's a pretty color, it contrasts nicely with the dress she's wearing. And also, she's holding this giant hand fan, which is made of lace. And I want that in there. And you can see the blue background behind it, since the fan is just lacy and transparent. So it makes sense that it would be okay to just leave that background in there. I'm trying to keep the scalloped shape of the fan here. Now, I mean, look at that. Isn't that's cool, right? Look. That's why I can't get rid of anything. despite my many efforts to do exactly that. I am doing better than I was, though. I went to Barnes and Noble last Saturday, and of course, despite the number of magazines I currently have in my house, I did buy more, but only 3, and I am actually planning to read them as opposed to just cutting them up and staring at them and putting some of the pictures on my walls or whatever. And then I'll cut them up. But after that, I kind of told myself, and I've been trying to do this forever. I am finally going to, I told myself it's too much now. I have to really get rid of stuff, use the stuff I have, stop buying so many craft supplies, stop buying so many magazines. And that was it. What I've been doing is writing every day when I don't buy stuff I don't need, which includes magazines and books and craft supplies, even if they're relatively cheap. I've been writing NB on my calendar in my kitchen, which just stands for no buy. And I've got a solid group of days now where I haven't bought anything unnecessarily, and it feels really good than just telling myself, oh, I'm not going to buy XYZ. And then I spend 2 hours looking on Amazon or scrapbook.com or whatever, and I'm like, oh, well, this is on sale and I've been wanting to try this, or it was a rough week, I'm gonna treat myself to something. It's starting to get overwhelming is what I'm saying. So I'm stopping. I'm just stopping. Cold turkey. Now, if I actually legitimately run out of a craft supply, which is incredibly unlikely at this point, but if I do, I can buy it. It's just the buying and hoarding of things that I've been doing for the past 2+ years that I need to crack down on so that I have room in my home to actually live in it without, just kind of roaming through piles of books and magazines and paintbrushes and scissors. And earlier when I was trying to say scissors, I said stickers, and that's because, you guys, I would be surprised if I didn't have at least 1 million stickers in this house. I kind of started this crafty explosion as a planner, and I fell in love with all those Happy Planner sticker books, and bought them obsessively for, I'm gonna say, probably 2018 through 2022, maybe 23. And I mean obsessively. Every sale, whether it was on the Happy Planner website or at Michael's or whatever, I was buying those sticker books. And it's a lot. I'm definitely gonna cut out the Eiffel Tower, but I don't feel like doing it right now. So I'm just gonna put that off to the side. Now, this is one of those things where I might even not end up using the whole egg. Who am I kidding? I will definitely use the whole egg, but I might use it separately. I might end up cutting out the yolk and using the yolk and the egg white separately. But I have back to what I was saying, I have a ton of stickers. And I've even started giving stuff away. Like in that first video, some of those stickers were Happy Planner stickers that I cut out of my sticker books to give to my friend Andrea. And legitimately because I think she could use them. I gave her a lot of coffee stickers because I know she loves drinking coffee, and some stickers about like knitting and stuff like that because she does those things. So even with me giving a lot of that stuff away, I would not be surprised at all if I had a million stickers in this house. So one of the things I would do is, and if you don't know about Happy Planner, their stickers are, they're very, very nice, but they're also very expensive. I mean, look at this. Look at the holes here. This is why I can't throw stuff away. Because I look at stuff and it's amazing, and I'm like, I could do something cool with that, even though it's weird. And I probably could, but I need to throw stuff away. So the Happy Planner stickers, I love them. They're adorable. A lot of people love them. But those sticker books are very expensive, and they've gotten more expensive since I started buying them. I think they were $18.99 when I started, and now they're between $21.99 and, like, if you get one of the Disney sticker books, it's even more. I think it's like $23 or $24.99, maybe more, because of the, the branding, obviously, with Disney, official Disney licensed stuff. And it got to the point where I had so many of them, and even journaling, like decorative journaling or planning on a regular basis, it was just too much. It was just getting to be too much. And also the price, unless you manage to get them on a very low sale, you're paying a lot for them. So one of the things I would do was try to wait for a sale, and even if I wasn't, to get the sticker books that had 1,000 or more stickers in them, or close to, like, at least 800 stickers or so that I was getting the most bang from a buck. And I was pretty successful at that, which is why I probably have a million stickers in my house. And then there was my Pip Sticks phase, which I discovered, I think it was 2022 when I discovered Pip Sticks. And don't get me wrong, again, amazing company, woman-owned company. Great stickers, really interesting designs. They've got fuzzy stickers and scratch and sniff stickers and things that really do remind you of when you were a little kid. And if you collected stickers or used stickers when you were a little kid. So I love that stuff, and I've got a whole sticker collector thing and everything. But again, it's just so much. And for a while I was in their monthly, they have 2 sticker clubs, one for adults, one for kids, and you can get like the full sticker club or smaller versions of those kits every month, depending on how much you want to pay. And I was getting the full adult sticker kit every month. And I am out of space. I am out of sticker space unless I start giving things to people. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to cut this leaf out here and try to maintain the little, I don't even know what you call this. It's not a scallop really, but the edge of the leaf just curved nicely. And again, when you're fussy cutting, you can decide how much you want to keep. You could easily cut cut off the stem that's here and not include that. You could do rounded edges, which would be easier than trying to keep the sort of scallop shape of the along the edge of the leaf. Whatever makes it easier for you. And of course, you don't have to fussy cut at all. No one has to do this. If you're glue booking or doing collage or whatever, you can rip things as close as you can get them. You can cut things and, you know, you can just cut out a square around the item. You can get close to a fussy cut. So just do whatever is easiest for you. This is supposed to be enjoyable. So if you try a method and you're not liking it, do something different and just figure out what works for you. I'm probably going to cut, well, I guess I can do it now. I'm going to cut this one out too. And then I'm going to leave this page. I do also like this is a really pretty blue for this background. I think I have too many lights on because it's very glary. But I tried to just open my window, which is right over my shoulder going this way. I opened my blinds, but then the sun came out and was right there in the window, and that was too bright. So it was very hard to figure out this lighting thing. Okay, now I've already looked at this. I want to cut at least some of these flowers out. My problem is that on the back is this quote, "What if there was another world out there?" Which I really like. And I like this section of the flowers better than down here because this is in focus better. But it's also where the words are. So now I have to make a decision, which is, oh, I don't like it. I don't like having to make decisions. But also, just making a decision is going to be easier than, say, making a copy of this side. What's the point of that? It's already on paper. Do I need the words that badly? And actually, I could form this quote. I have so many letters and words cut out, and I even have tons of packs of letter stickers. I could easily make this quote out of some of that stuff, or just write it out. So I'm gonna take the foliage. That's what I'm gonna do. These pretty like lavendery flowers, and again, because, you know, for the most part, the sky is the background. I'm just going to leave some of it in here, kind of wiggle. Now, in this case, when fussy cutting it, I find it easier when you're just kind of making random shapes to kind of do both. Wiggle the scissors and wiggle the paper, as opposed to just moving the paper. Since this isn't a very strict, there's not a lot of really strict shapes here. It's kind of just a big beautiful blob of flowers, and it would look weird. Since I'm bothering to fussy cut, it would look weird if I cut them out just in a square or something and right next to it. So I'm just wiggling everything, and I'm not going to bother with that because I don't feel like it. Same with that. Just try to get it so that it's a good mismatched shape. And again, I like what's formed there, so I'll probably cause myself some more difficulty and just save it. I'm really trying, when I do stuff like that, when I fussy cut something and I look at the shape that's left behind and go, oh, I like that, I'm trying to go ahead and use it within a couple of days so it doesn't just sit around forever and become another pile of stuff that I need to organize. Got so many piles of stuff, guys. I have right now 4 piles of papers and books and magazines on my coffee table. On my coffee table. There's not supposed to be that much stuff on my coffee table. There's never been that much stuff on my coffee table before, ever. And then just cut this white strip off here. I don't know if you can see, but that's Shake's over here. This is his tail. He's moving around. He was taking a nap just like he was last time I did a video. Here. Let me see. I might actually have to. I think that's actually a little better. Yeah, I like all those shapes that are left behind. That's a problem. I am still gonna cut out these umbrellas. I don't feel like doing it right now. So I'm gonna put this back in my pile of papers that need to be addressed. Okay, this is another one. What's over here? I can live without that. This is another one where I really like her. I really like the lady here. She's got on these silver heels, red tights, black dress that honestly kind of fades into the background. But I also really like the words one and only. So I have to figure out how to address this. I'm just going to go ahead and cut like the basic shape out for her. And because it's just, there's so much black, it's hard to tell where her clothes end and the background begins, but I think that's pretty good. A pretty good approximation. And then I can figure out what to do with her the fringe and all this other stuff that's hanging off of her. Now I don't want the phrase one and only on her. I just want her and the phrase separately. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. And I think this is basically where her sleeve is. And that's her hand. Thank God I don't have to cut around all her fingers because they're mostly draped in front of her leg. Foot. Ooh, I'm just going to cut straight down and then, because all of that is starting to get in the way. And once again, I like all of the stuff that's there, so I'll be trying to deal with that at some point this weekend. Does anybody else do that? Do you guys who do fussy cut, do you cut stuff out and then look at the negative space that's left behind and realize how much you love it and feel like you need to keep that as well? I feel like I can't be the only person who does that. But honestly, even if I am, it doesn't matter. I'm doing what I like to do. I'm following what catches my fancy. And that's what this is all about. Just enjoying ourselves and being arty and having a place where we can express ourselves creatively, have as many or as few rules as we want, and do whatever we want and need to stay calm, stay happy, forget that numerous horrible things are happening in the world and possibly even in our personal lives. Oh, okay, now she's got some fringe hanging down here, which you can see if you look really closely. And I know there's no way you can see that on camera because I can barely see it staring right at it with all this light and with my glasses on. But I think I'm just gonna do that so it's not even. I did a pretty shitty job at the heels there. That's better. That feels better. Now what am I going to do about the one and only? Can I cut this out? Can I cut the words out without completely destroying her? There's not going to be much left to connect her head to her body. It's just going to be this little strip right here. I'm going to take my chances, guys, because all I have to do is cover it up. Cover it up. With what? I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. Oh, there, I did it. Does that look weird? Absolutely. But if I put, you know, there, now you can't tell that I cut her out weird. Or if I layer her with another person, somehow, not like this, but somehow you won't be able to tell. So it's fine. Everything's fine. We know what we're doing, basically, sort of. Okay, so that's my little fussy cutting tutorial for today. I'm planning to probably make this a regular feature. Like do a short video on Fridays where I just run my mouth and fussy cut. So I can hopefully get some more stuff taken care of. Now that this is done, I mean, this is a nice little bit of stuff. The question though is, where am I going to put this? Where do these go until I decide what I want to do with them? And you know what? I don't know. Because every time I think I have a storage solution that works, it works until I accumulate so much stuff that the storage solution is completely full. And then I have to find something else. So that's still something I'm working through. I mean, I cleaned out my entire entryway closet, hoping to be able to store papers and things in there. And I had so much stuff outside of the closet that once I cleaned out the closet and put things into the closet, it was full again. Like completely full. No room to add extra stuff in the closet. So it's a problem. It's a problem. I'm working through it. And honestly, if this is the biggest problem I have, it's not that bad. So there you go. Okay, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I don't know yet whether you'll see me again or not this weekend. I haven't decided. Like I said, I still don't know what I'm doing about regular video features and all that kind of thing. But I'm working on it, and I'll figure it out, just like I figure other stuff out. Or I won't figure it out, and then it'll just keep changing all the time. And if it keeps changing all the time, I'll tell you it's going to keep changing all the time. So you'll be prepared for it. Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Do all the subscribing and bell clicking and all that good stuff. You've been on YouTube for a long time. You know what to do. Bye, guys.